Binge the full week ad free over at patreon.com/inspired disorder.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Swipe Up, the 129th episode of the show where I share some of my favorite posts from Instagram, see what's going on around the world, see what's going on around your place, my place, everything in between. Let's get it started, shall we? In this critical report, faults LAPD for mishandling summer George Floyd unrest. So anybody surprised by this probably isn't listening to this or watching the show, but clearly the LAPD is wildly known for how horrible they are to human beings, innocent citizens of the United States of America. And it was very clear during all of the protests, I should say, last summer, up through pretty much up through. I don't know if they were still going on during election. I'm sure they're still going on in certain places. But yeah, the LAPD clearly, and from what I read a little bit of this. It sounds like every job I've had where there's worthless management, like just people that don't know how to be leaders, just passing the buck. Like something bad happens, and it's just like, I don't know. He was the one supposed to be. I don't know. There wasn't really clear communication of who was in charge. I don't know. It's just like if you have a system, right, that has the ability and on a regular basis eliminates the life of innocent citizens, and then you have like zero kind of accountability. You have people who take zero responsibility. You should just like eliminate all of them. None of them should be receiving paychecks. None of them should be in that form of employment. That is why defunding the police is something that should be happening more of. Like in Denver, instead of sending cops out to deal with a lot of things, they were sending out doctors and nurses, people like with medical expertise to help people, because most things that happen, most of the times the cops are called, it's like they're not even qualified to handle the situation. And even if they were, it's insane. It's insane. It'll be interesting to see if anything at all changes in the LAPD. I can't imagine anything does. I know some bills have passed and some reform has happened in some areas, but yeah, the LAPD, they've been murdering people for a very long time. And it's kind of actually funny. I rewatching Beverly Hills Cop recently, Eddie Murphy movie. When he goes to the police department, and when he first goes to Beverly Hills and he gets brought into the police department, like how the view that movie has of how police departments are run, where like they're extra held accountable, was hilarious. Was actually hilarious part of that film, because it's definitely not how people are treated, and not what cops are held responsible to. Anyway, not surprised at all that the LAPD is worthless piece of shit. Defund the police. Now moving on to this post here from AOC. She's kind of laying out the different parts of the bill that just passed. Finally, this COVID bill. We're getting the $1,400 checks. Most people are. Dependents now get checks. Hello, students, disability families. So it's like dependents are getting it. They're upping the weekly unemployment insurance to $300 more, which is amazing. If you have kids, you're getting 3,000 to 3,600 extra in cash per year. FEMA is going to FEMA is reimbursing a bunch of funeral costs for people that have died. Over 500,000 people are dead now because of the COVID. Let's see. First, Oh, they're not taxing the first. So they're basically going to drop you down your tax bracket, $10,200. So potentially, it's going to help people pay less taxes in the middle class that were and poor people. Cheaper health care, extensions in Cobra, free Cobra premiums through September, assistance for independent restaurants and bars, housing assistance for rent and mortgage, Easter egg on student loans, positive sign of things to come. So, maybe they're moving towards canceling student debt. All adults will be available for vaccinations starting May 1st. Not part of the package, but announced tonight. So a lot of good things. I've yet to get any of the stimulus checks. I've yet to see the unemployment stuff, but everything has in the past been automatic. So it's been, it'll just be a matter of time, I would imagine. Now moving on to a little sad story, not kind of. I mean, podcasts come and go. I've had many podcasts that have ended over the years, and Alex Bolin, a buddy of mine out in Portland, he's an author. Go check his books out. He's got multiple books that you can buy everywhere books are sold. But he did his final episode. He's calling it quits for Alex Cast, which I've been a guest on at least once, way back in the day. It's been like 6 years ago, maybe. He's been on my podcast before, my old podcast before. He's still doing podcasts. I think he does like Alex and Jeff Hate Stuff. I don't know. I don't know exactly what he's been doing with podcasting, but I know he's still doing it. But as far as this specific podcast, it is no more. So it's always it was an honor to be a small part of that show's history, and he was one of the podcasts that was part of my podcast network way back in the day. So much love to Alex Bolin and on his new journey, whatever it may be. I'm sure he will be doing podcasts more. I would imagine he enjoys it, but just wants to change things up, which I completely understand. Now moving on to Desert X, which is a big art installation event thing that's going on right now, and this is one of my favorite shots of the Palm Springs sign, but you can see through the sign, and it says Indian Land. Kind of in giant block letters, like kind of like the Hollywood sign, which is true. There's a lot of, Indian land. I mean, this is all Indian land, but there's a lot of casinos, Indian casinos, and tribal land in the valley. But yeah, Desert X has a lot of crazy art anyway, but that one is great, and hopefully it's not being vandalized, because we do live in the valley. Tends to swing pretty hard right for certain things, and I could see the racist people wanting to cause trouble and deface art. If it was instead of Indian land, if it was like some kind of racial slur, then they would be defending it. The right wing people really love to defend racist art. Black human life, they don't really give a shit about. But if you're going to cancel racist art, outdated racist art, then you are the problem. But let's move on. Final piece, some advice from Gary Vaynerchuk, who's a man who has been in my dreams lately. Dude I followed for many years, but it's some great advice that I highly agree with, and let's check it out right now.
What is the focus that I should have to start my own company?
What do you think you're best at?
Sales.
More of that.
That's simple, huh?
It's that simple. Because people aren't hardwired to not focus on their weaknesses, and the world is good at selling to people's weaknesses. So you're hearing all these other things to work on, when the real unlock is to just be the best at the thing that you're naturally good at. Go more into that. Become better at it.
100% agree. Find a few things maybe. one or two, three things maybe, if they're related to each other. But yeah, just focus, put all your energy. It's amazing how good you can get at a thing when you put your focus on that thing completely. So let's do some shout outs and get out of here, shall we? Shout out LA Times, shout out AOC, Alex Bolin, Alex with 2 X's, Bolin with 2 L's. Shout out to Coachella Valley, Steady Shot _designs, and Gary VEE. And most importantly, shout out to you. Make sure you support our sponsor, Station House Coffee. Give them a follow on Instagram and go to the website, stationhousecoffee.com. Order yourself some amazing small batch, single origin, premium coffee brewed in Thetford Center, Vermont, shipped directly to you. Let them know the Ray Taylor Show sent you. Follow Station House Coffee on Instagram and go to stationhousecoffee.com and order your coffee today. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/Inspired Disorder. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com and follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out.